Good evening. This is actually not the digital asset guy. This is Donald J. Trump, and I'm going to read this post. For a very long time, buying and owning a home was considered the pinnacle of the American dream. It was the reward for working hard and doing the right thing, but now, because of the record high inflation caused by Sleepy Joe and the do-nothing Democrats, the American dream is increasingly out of reach for far too many people, especially younger Americans. Seriously. It is for that reason and much more that I am immediately taking steps to ban large institutional investors from buying more single-family homes. I am calling on Congress to codify it. People live in homes, not corporations. I will discuss this topic, including further housing and affordability proposals and more at my speech in Davos in a couple of weeks. Seriously, folks, that's the only way it's fair. Hope you like that, Crew Chief. Crew Chief is a big fan of my Donald Trump impressions. Thought we'd start out with this today. Gina posted that. Gina is a member of the XRP community, lock-in. She started following me. Gina, if you're listening, thank you for posting that. I just saw it, and then over here I see Trump announces ban on corporate single-family home purchases. It's really interesting news. You know, as you all know, I went on my rant about I personally, as a 35-year-old millennial, I don't think it makes much sense at these prices and these interest rates to buy a home. It's a totally illiquid liability. Yes, liability, not an asset. I think crypto is a better investment, even though it sounds crazy, and I've held a real estate license for 10 years. It's kind of like I'm the worst realtor ever. No, I mean, if somebody wants to buy a house to raise a family in or something, you know, that might be the best investment ever. But, you know, I had a couple that I was their buyer's agent on a deal last year, and they were, you know, kind of said, are you sure that we should buy this home? Is this a good decision? I said, well, I'm just going to be honest with you. And they know that I'm the digital asset guy. I said, if it were me, I'd put your 80 grand into crypto at the right time, like in the bear market when sentiment's low, and I would invest it that way, and I wouldn't even buy a house. So you wouldn't want to ask me. But if you want to, you know, I am your buyer's agent, and I'll help you get the house. But it's, you know, it's purely an investment. I don't think it makes much sense. Okay. Oh, anything I say or show or talk about in these videos is not financial or investment advice, for entertainment purposes only. Got to get that out of the way. So we have our nice little rally we've seen on the 7-day. XRP still up 18%. Had a nice rally somewhere in the neighborhood of 30%. You know, came from came from down here like $1.80. I think we got as low as like $1.78. Came up to about $2.40. Nice little rally, but again, in the big picture, I mean, this is a heavy downtrend. It looks a lot like this one. This whole thing looks like this. And I just think, you know, I think we're in a downtrend, but you're going to see corrections to the upside. Blockchain backer put this fractal up. I believe this is 2021 next to 2025. There's our liquidation we had on October 10th. And we're matching it so perfectly. It's, you know, it's kind of scary how it's all psychology, market psychology, and who knows, will we go all the way down here? You know, $1.25 I was looking earlier. Looks like $1.25 possibly if we followed it exactly. Will we get down there? Who knows if history rhymes? We might, but there's also things like this happening. The one and only Eleanor Terrett, she posted this. She said, "Bingo, good afternoon. In an interview with Breitbart News, Senator Tim Scott, chairman of the Senate Banking Committee, announced that the committee will be holding a market structure markup on Thursday, the 15th. So that's about the Clarity Act, the market structure bill. So that's kind of interesting. And then where did it go? Oh, there's more on that. Senator Tim Scott. So if they're actually going to do that on January 15th, that's a step in the right direction. I do believe this thing will pass. I can't believe they would pass it in a bear market, which seems like what we're going into. Again, I think that we're due for some like really bad news that shakes everyone out of crypto, like blockchain backers saying. And when you look back on the charts, these major capitulation events, usually they're, when something really bad happened, like FTX, something like that. So I could see the Clarity Act setting up for that to, if it goes wrong, all of a sudden there's like a Trump coin, Melania coin problem or something, because I hear the Democrats want language in it that bans the president and Congress from owning crypto, which is ridiculous because like Nancy Pelosi, her stock trading career has been, really crazy. It's like, when the day that they actually ban Congress from owning stocks, that's how we know it's the top of the stock market, where they're going to dump the market on us. But we're allowed, and everybody's preoccupied, distracted by, oh, it'll be good. Congress people can't own stocks. So that's the top. They're going to leave us holding the bag. So, and then Eleanor also posted this. She said, looks like the Trump family's World Liberty Finance is joining the conga line of crypto firms applying for U.S. bank charters, as Caitlin Long would say. Interesting timing with market structure markup right around the corner, ongoing ethics controversy. See that right there? That's what I mean. I could see this thing setting up for the perfect kind of just kidding, it's actually bad news, something goes really wrong with it. I don't know. I hope not. I'd like for this thing to pass, but I just can't imagine they do it right before we traditionally go really low with sentiment. If you look at the past cycles, but we can always count on Eleanor to give us the scoop. Which reminds me, so this is a friend of mine, Ice. He's he or she, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but they are like an OG in the crypto space. They just started following me, and they just have this little ice guy and these little emojis, and it's just kind of cute. So he posted this yesterday. I posted my YouTube video where I was talking about, does dating make crypto easier? No, not for the digital asset guy. And they posted this, like they're watching my video. So I wanted to give a shout out to Ice. And after they started following me, I went back and I shared these screenshots from back when I had my little interview with Eleanor at XRP Vegas. That thing, of course, she shared it and tagged me in it, or I tagged her in it, and it got like 50,000 views and all this. So everybody started putting these comments, and Ice commented this cute little thing of them throwing the heart back and forth, and there were all these people, all these guys saying, I'm completely jealous, and girls saying, oh, they're flirting and stuff, but it was definitely something. But Ice is really just an OG in the space. Thanks, Ice, for locking in and supporting my videos. Even when just a couple people are following, it makes it all worth it. So thank you. Let's see. Speaking of supporting. We're going to talk about crypto education here, something interesting about BlackRock.
So we see this still being very early days for Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's a lot more about education, a lot more about how does this fit in a portfolio, how might it behave in different market environments, and how could it sit alongside stocks and bonds.
So I guess that guy's apparently from BlackRock, but I do agree with this part. It's a lot more about education. This is a picture from one of my in-person classes. I just posted this. Of course, I had a lot of these posted on my old account that got suspended, but I'm going to start posting them again. The digital asset guy believes in teaching crypto IRL, which stands for in real life. A lot of these are some friends of mine, but at this particular class, a couple people showed up who I didn't know, who just kind of found out about it through Facebook or my advertisements in my hometown, and they showed up, which was really cool. And in these classes, I just try to really, simply explain the basic fundamentals of crypto and blockchain. I really do think that it's important that we do in-person classes. In my opinion, most, I hate to say it, but older people, pretty much all of the scam cases that I have seen have taken place when older folks jump online and they trust someone that they've never met in real life, and they start talking to them online, and that's when the bad stuff happens. So I give these in-person classes in my home city, and I'm really appreciative of the people who come out to them, but a lot of people ask me what I think about things all the time, and they're texting, calling, and messaging, and playing 20 questions, but then they don't show up to the class, and I'm like, that's why I do these. And then I started doing the YouTube channel where I'm trying to tell what I think about things, and but anyway, it just here's like a little advertisement video for one of my classes.
In my home city, I'm giving a free in-person crypto class focusing on the Genius Act, the Clarity Act, the anti-CBDC bill, and also crypto in 401ks. This is going to be on this coming Tuesday, September 23rd, 6 to 8 p.m. I'm getting a lot of people asking, Digital Asset Guy, why are you not offering this class virtually online? The answer is, this is my gift to my home city to do an in-person class where it's really me, I know it's really you.
So anyway, that's just something that I am passionate about is, teaching in person where I can answer their questions. If I give them my number, they can call, text, whatever. But really today you can't trust anything on the internet. You've got to always verify. So I like to do these classes, and hopefully though the YouTube channel starts to gain more traction. I try to do these news videos. We try to have some fun with it, like I was talking about the dating stuff last night, but I try to give the real news, of what's actually going on and things, because crypto news, it's just not a priority to everyone. And I think it needs to be more and more. Like the Clarity Act, a lot of people don't know what it is. So, I'm hoping this YouTube channel, I'm still figuring it out, and I talked to someone today actually about doing an intro and outro video where it's like an intro for these news videos on the channel, and I'm trying to figure out which videos might be good to take little clips from. If you have an idea, please comment below which video might be good. Maybe this one where I got to go on my local news, I might do a snippet from that. Maybe a few things from XRP Vegas, maybe where Bree was interviewing me. Who knows? Maybe the Trump Tower doorman video, or the Ripple in Times Square, Eleanor, one of those. But if you have a little part of a video that you think might do well. And one thing that I worry about with this channel is I worry about seeming arrogant, or like I'm just trying to, show that I'm all that or whatever. I know everything about crypto. That's really not the goal here. I mean, right now I'm not getting a lot of subscribers. I'm not getting a lot of views, but I enjoy talking about this stuff and trying to teach about it enough to do it, even if it's just for a few people. If I can help one person, it's worth it to me. But I'd like to help more. And I think as crypto and blockchain grows, I think we're going to need more and more education on it. And it won't hurt to have a little bit more entertainment too, entertaining content. I'm looking at doing another skit like Digital Asset Guy Helps John. Got some more interviews lined up, hopefully. And then hopefully I'll be traveling. I'm going to XRP Vegas again this April. And then I'm really excited about this Sweden business and some kind of unique content that I would like to dive into on that. So different things coming. Hopefully I can get that intro video on here pretty soon. Thank you for being with me tonight. Hopefully I was able to show you something interesting, educational, entertaining. Crew Chief, I hope you like the Donald Trump voice on here. I also do a pretty good Christopher Walken. Should I read it like Christopher Walken? For a long, long time, buying and owning a home was considered the pinnacle of the American dream. Some people like when I do my Christopher Walken. But anyway, this is something really important to look at with the fractal on XRP right now. It's matching it just almost exactly. So, the bullish people who are just always, we're going to the moon, a lot of them started bull posting again right here, but it kind of looks like right now, even on the 24-hour, it's pretty red. On the year, it came up, came back down. I don't know. I just think it's really hard to come up with a reason to believe we're just going to invalidate this whole giant downtrend and go to the moon. Maybe the Clarity Act might do that. I don't know. I just don't see them dropping that in a bear market. Anyway, time will tell. I think that's going to do it for me. Have a good night. Digital Asset Guy out.